Hey guys, it's Andy here. She blinded me with refractors. I just wanted to make a video and I wanted to talk about my top 10 YouTube sports card channels. And these channels will be in no particular order. I just wanted to pick out like 10 of the channels that I enjoy watching. First up, we have Elite Co 3. This is one of the very first channels that I actually started watching. Um, of course, Nolan, very knowledgeable in many aspects of the card industry. He's a collector, a seller, investor, grader. I always enjoy watching his mail day videos. And probably my favorite thing that he does is the bulk PSA submissions. I think he has a really good eye for cards, and he always submits a wide variety. Some cards, like he always talks about, maybe $1 raw, but if he gets a PSA 10, it might be a 20, 25, $30 card. Um, he's also coined several hobby phrases that I enjoy, and my favorite one is when he talks about slab cans. That's basically what that is he'll take a card and look it over and see if it's a candidate to be sent in to PSA. I share many of the same interests that Nolan has. I'm kind of like all over the place when it comes to collecting, like he is. He does vintage, modern, all kinds of stuff. He does a little bit of prospecting. And I'm also a big fan of his Bulls versus Bears series because even though I'm a collector, I do like to, buy things that not only that I enjoy, but also things that I think will either hold their value or increase in value. So the Bulls versus Bears series, it's always interesting to see some of the trends in the sports card industry, and cards that used to be worth hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars, now they can be had for 20 to 25 bucks. So you never know what's going to happen. The second channel I wanted to talk a little bit about is Baseball Collector. Mike has great mail day videos. I really enjoy watching him in his quest to complete his 3 decade set, which is the baseball Hall of Famers from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. It's just a ton of cards, and he really gets after it when it comes to that set. And then I also enjoy he's had several videos, and even sometimes in his mail days he'll get in one of his Hall of Fame autographs. He has just a great collection of those. And I'm really a big fan of his Beyond Cardboard interviews. That kind of it gives us some insight as to what people collect and why they collect and what they enjoy about it, and then also just some things that you may not know about that person. I did have an opportunity to meet Mike at the national convention last week. He's a really nice guy. I really enjoy his channel. The next one is kind of a relative newcomer to the YouTube scene, Rocky Avelli. Rocco and his channel instantly became a favorite of mine from the very first episode. He has a real passion for the hobby, and he talks about how he collected, and then he got out of collecting and just recently got back into collecting. I really it's funny because one of my favorite things about his channel is sometimes he'll just take like just an obscure 70s basketball card, and he'll make funny comments about the hairstyles and the jerseys back then. And he makes things interesting and entertaining. And I also agree with his dislike for the multiplayer rookie cards, and I'm a big supporter of the RRC, which he's talked about, which is the Rocco rookie card, which is the first card of a player where just a solo card, and he considers that to be their rookie card. So I'm a big supporter of that, Rocco. So the next channel I want to talk a little bit about is Blue Jacket 66. If you just enjoy just pure vintage, man, this will be your type of channel. He has an outstanding 1933 Tattoo Orbit PSA graded set. It's kind of like a little bit of an obscure issue. Like, not a lot of people collect that set. I've always personally liked that set, and I've actually, thought about collecting it in the past myself. If you haven't seen any of his videos of his Mickey Mantle collection, you definitely got to check those out. So many tough to find regional issues. It's definitely not your typical Mantle video where it's just, his basic top stuff. Blue Jacket 66 has tremendous content and just a lot of cards that you're just not going to see a lot of places. He has some really, really good stuff. I highly recommend subscribing to his channel. The next one is Cardboard Chronicles. This is another new channel. It was just started by Josh Johnson, and his subscription is really starting to take off. This channel focuses on 90s basketball, and he's already had interviews with some of the best known collectors in the 90s basketball, as far as 90s basketball collectors go, but also some of the best collectors in the entire world are collectors of 90s basketball. So definitely check those guys out. He has a lot of great topics that he discusses. He discusses like player collecting, counterfeit cards, and then a lot of the people that he'll have on the channel to be interviewed, they will show off some of their best cards and some really, really good stuff. So if you want to learn something new, trust me, you will if you watch this channel. I've learned something in every episode thus far. Next up, we have Baseball Card Junkies TV. I really enjoy these guys because they're just pure collectors. They like to have fun with it. They talk about a lot of different things. Of course, I always like to see Nate, who is also Topps 85 401. I like to see his new Barry Bonds pickups each time when he has like a mail day. He has just a very impressive Bonds collection. And these guys also will do like live videos where they'll look at people's comments that they've made on past videos. People ask them questions, and they like to go ahead and answer that stuff. And it's a really, really enjoyable channel. Next up, Silver Jackify. He is very full of energy, always has interesting content. His collection is just outstanding. I mean, he collects a little bit of everything as well, which I enjoy. I mean, I know a lot of people, they may have like that one focus area, but I can't ever seem to like just focus in on one thing. I really like to collect a little bit of everything. He runs a lot of contests and giveaways, and he'll have people do some crazy stuff to be entered into his contests. Also, if you need a quick laugh, just check out his He-Man Halloween special video. That one never gets old. Next up, we have The Collector. This guy has one of the most amazing collections that you will ever see. And another thing about his channel, like, you never really know what he's gonna make a video about. Like, it may be something as simple as like, a pack of modern cards, like a blaster or something that you would pick up at Walmart or Target. And then his next video, he might be showing off like a couple of 33 Gaudy Lajoies, or his Babe Ruth collection. I think one of his last videos he put up, he had like it looked like a near set of 1940 play balls that were all autographed. and they were all like PSA DNA authenticated. I mean, and there was a couple of the guys, like a couple of the really tough guys, he actually had multiples of. He doesn't put out videos very often, but anytime that he does put out one, I definitely check it out just to see what he might have. Next up, we have Diamond Yard Sports Cards. I always feel like George, he does a good job of mixing things up. He does, PSA submission videos. He, has mail days. Sometimes he'll showcase some of the favorite cards he has in his collection. And he's another guy. He has like a really great variety of stuff. And I feel like he's definitely an up-and-comer in the YouTube community. Next up, we have Those Back Pages. Eric has a tremendous collection of both vintage and what he likes to call the newer shiny stuff, and I'm definitely a fan of both of those things. I really like his outlook on things. He's definitely a guy. He feels like it's the most important part of the hobby, I think, to him is not necessarily just the actual cards and stuff that he collects, but it's just kind of like the friendships and the different people that you meet through this hobby. It's always nice to know that there's people out there that you can communicate with that have the same interests as you. I mean, this is definitely not a hobby where at our jobs and even with family members, a lot of people, they really don't get it. They don't understand why we collect what we collect, and he makes it a point to make sure that the people are important as well as just the cards. He also he has a Dwight Gooden 85 Topps card that he did a video about, and it was it's his favorite card in his collection, and I don't want to like spoil the whole video, but he did a video on it and talked about why it's his favorite card, and definitely check his channel out and definitely watch that video. It's just a really cool video. And then that's my 10, and then I wanted to also this is kind of like a bonus. This is kind of like the 11th channel here, and this one's Double X the Beast. This is one of my best friends has this channel, and he has what I would consider to be the greatest Grant Hill collection in the world. I mean, even if you don't like Grant Hill, or if you don't like basketball, or you don't even like 90s cards, you just kind of, you're not really a fan of any of that stuff, I think you would like this channel. I think you would appreciate his dedication to his collection, and he goes through a lot, as do all these player collectors, to track down these cards that they need for their collections. And some of these cards are just almost impossible to find, and they may spend like years looking for a particular card. And he's very knowledgeable. Like he knows as much about 90s basketball cards as anybody that I know. And he just actually moved, so he hasn't put up a lot of content lately, but he assures me that he's going to start doing more videos in the near future, so be on the watch out for Double X the Beast. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the list here, and if there's anybody on this list that you weren't already subscribed to, definitely check all these channels out. I know a few of these channels are relatively newer channels, and some of them may have like around 100 subscribers or something. So there's a lot of great content out there. So let me know what you guys thought about the list, and I'll catch you guys later.